What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at some Hasbro Marvel Legends Fantastic Four figures. So first up today, we have Dragon Man, which was kind of like a HasLab. I think they call it the made to order. So it's just a bigger, more expensive figure that they made in limited quantity. You had to order within a time period, and once that time period ended, that was just how many they were going to make. So we got Dragon Man from that, which looks really cool, at least from box-wise here. The box is really heavy, so big, heavy box, like hard to pick up here, but we got nice Fantastic Four designs on it, and of course designs there of Dragon Man on the back, so we'll see his big wings and stuff he'll come with. So that is all pretty cool. So that's awesome. And then we also have She-Hulk from the Fantastic Four. So she joined the Fantastic Four for a while. So we get her in that design to go along with our other Fantastic Four members. So love that last She-Hulk we got. So pretty much same figure, just repainted for the Fantastic Four. It comes with some weights as well. And we can see her back of the box showing everything she's going to come with there and a bit of her story if you want to do that. But of course, I'll go through that. But looks pretty awesome overall for both of these two figures. So I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Dragon Man, whose real name is Draconis. He was an android created by Professor Gilbert to fill the void in his life after the death of his entire family, but he failed to bring him to life until an alchemist named Diablo used science and alchemy to bring Dragon Man to life and manipulated it into attacking the Fantastic Four. But many years later, Reed Richards and Valeria would be able to upgrade his programming to greatly increase his intelligence, and he became a pacifist and joined the Future Foundation. And so as Dragon Man, he has superhuman strength and durability, as well as the ability of flight and fire breath. So really cool to get this Dragon Man. Like I said, it's just this big figure here that was released by Hasbro. Like I said, kind of done similar to a HasLab. You know, they were made to order, so more expensive figure, but not expensive as the normal HasLabs are. But looks really cool for this Dragon Man, just how big he is. I don't know the exact measurements, probably 10 inches, a foot tall, something probably close to that, but looks really cool with his design. So he's all this purple color. Now it'd be nice to have more. There is some, like, I was gonna say shading, but it's kind of like a metallic darker purple up like on his shoulders, around his neck and stuff, and just kind of on like more of the scale body that he has there as compared to like the smoother parts. But then we get his head, which he has this big head, which looks kind of crazy. There's like veins and stuff, so I assume it's supposed to be brain like and everything, but love how he's got these big points on top of his head. Of course, his eyes in there, which have like the yellow eye, red eyes with the yellow like pupils and stuff. His mouth is open, so we get a tongue and teeth and everything in there, so that's pretty nice with the big like beak design and stuff. He's got a little pair of underwear on in that darker like maroonish red color, and then of course we get his hands and feet. So he's got the 4 fingers on his hands, nice thick nails and stuff there, and the 3 toes on his feet with the nice sharp claws and everything. So just looks really good overall. I like the design and everything a lot. For it just looks really cool, and it's going to be a nice big figure. Now for movements, his head will twist all the way around, and as you see, there's a hinge joint there, so with that you can get the head to like look down that far and then up just about that far in the back. So there's not like an incredible range, but I love having that hinge in there, so it gives you more range. And then as I showed, the mouth does open and close, so you can kind of have that function there. The shoulders will come up to 90 with the butterfly that moves back and forth, so pretty nice range with that butterfly as well. And we'll rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That of course it is a pinless joint and all that, so it's going to be stiff, especially with a bigger figure like this. It is pretty stiff, but you can get it to bend up that far, which is really nice. So really nice, over 90 there, so really good for that. Wrist will twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get his ab crunch, so we get the crunch back and forth there, so nice crunch, and it'll twist around there as well, so that's pretty nice. And then the hips will come up to 90 and out to the side that far. Ooh, not far at all from the splits. Thigh twist all the way around. Then the double knee joint, which I assume will be stiff as well, which yeah, it was pretty stiff there, but can bend up that far to back, very close to kicking himself in the butt. Then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side, and even has the toe joint on the foot, so move back and forth there. So pretty good movements overall, especially for a big figure like this. You know, it seems a lot like their normal Marvel Legends figures that they've just upscaled in size, so you know, don't really lose any of the movements or anything, so really nice overall for that. He of course comes with some accessories we can switch out, so he has like the claw hands on. We also get a set of fist hands that you can give him if you want to have fist. Of course, we also should put this on first, the tail form, so he comes with a tail as well, so a nice bendy tail here, so that's pretty nice that we can stick onto his butt here. So there he's got his tail. Of course, usually when we get tails, we always have to like use them, get them posed up and stuff for the characters to be able to use to help get him to stand up, especially with his wings may have some issues, but I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, we just get the tail there. Nice, of course, scale designs, even some little like spines and stuff on it there towards the top. So we get that extra tail just sticking off the back now. Now, I'm not really sure if we'd want to keep that on, because if we try and put this on a shelf or anything, take up a lot of space, because that's a lot of distance there for that tail, and it's not really bending the best. I don't know if maybe heating this up would get it more flexible and stuff. We can get it maybe more towards the ground or whatever, but at least he's got the tail on there, which is cool. And then, of course, we get his wings as well. So we do get 2 sets of wings that we can choose for him. So we can get this set that is folded up, so they're just all purple. Now, I do believe there are different designs because in the comics, a lot of times he's pictured with just all purple wings. And other times we get different colors, and we'll see that with the next one. But we can put these into his back. So, of course, he got like the standard wing things that we can plug this in so we can put the wings on him. So there's Dragon Man with the first set of wings. Like I said, you can have those, have more like claps downs. Like I said, especially if you like try and put them on a shelf or something, having more claps down will make it a lot better, not take as much room. But then we also get the more spread out wings with the orange in them in this time, which I do like the orange against the purple. So these are more my favorite, but like I said, with space and stuff, having the closed up purple ones would be better, but let's switch these out. And there's the other wings on them. And of course, I forgot to mention with the others, there is some movement, so you can get them to move up and down. They do have hinges on them, so you can get them more towards the back there and stuff. So you can get them adjusted around whatever you want there. But like I said, I do like that more, just with that orange against his purple skin. Makes it like stand out and pop quite a bit. So I do really like that. Then we get some extra fun little accessories. So we get a pair of glasses we can put on. Now, I wasn't sure how this would work, but they kind of just sit on his nose and like they're just sitting there. They're not really going to like stay too well or anything, but they just kind of sit right there on his nose. So right in front of his eyes. So it kind of works out pretty good. And then we also get a book as well. So just this little book, probably similar to the ones we got with Beast and everything, but it has a Future Foundation logo on it and stuff, so looks good. And then of course all the same sort of like scribbling and charts and stuff we saw with the ones Beast would have and everything. So you can just put this in his hands, especially with these claw hands. You can probably hold it a little better. So his hand's a little bit big for the book design, so he doesn't really hold on to it the best, but you could easily do something like that where you can get the book just sitting in his hand however it is there, and him reading the book. So that's pretty nice, especially showing off his smarts and the stuff with the Future Foundation on it. Makes it pretty good and everything, since that's part of his storyline. So overall, just a really cool design here for Dragon Man. Like I said, just because how big and awesome it looks and everything is really cool and makes me really like this figure. Of course, we'll have to add him in with our Fantastic Four and stuff and see what he looks like. He's going to be pretty big, but since we have another Fantastic Four character, we'll wait to do that at the end. So very cool for this Dragon Man figure. And then we also have She-Hulk, who of course is Jennifer Walters. Now, she was a successful lawyer and cousin of Bruce Banner that was seriously injured by a crime boss and saved from a blood transfusion by her cousin Bruce, which caused her to transform into a tall, green-skinned She-Hulk. Following the events of Secret Wars, the Thing left the Fantastic Four and was replaced by She-Hulk, becoming the newest muscle on the team. And then she eventually left once Thing decided to return. And of course, being a Hulk, she has super strength, speed, durability, and leaping ability, as well as the healing factor. So it looks good. Get the She-Hulk once again. We had, of course, the normal version of She-Hulk released not too long ago, which was really cool. Nice figure design, all that. So we get her released this time again with the Fantastic Four design. As I mentioned, she joined the Fantastic Four there for a while. So looks good with her nice tall design. Again, when we bring the Fantastic Four in, we'll see how big she is, especially compared to all them. But just looks good here with her long black hair that has the green highlights painted on top of it. So it looks good. So of course gives her that green looking hair. Has her nice bright green skin. Absolutely love the green that they choose for these. So we get the face, the arms, and the legs there. And then of course the Fantastic Four outfit. So we get the blue and white design. So white around the neck, midsection, gloves, and then the boot designs, and then blue for the chest and crotch with the 4 on top of that. So just looks really good overall. Love this design. We're getting it once again just with the Fantastic Four design. Of course, this is like a figure everyone knew was going to be released because it's an easy repaint and all that. And of course, having this nice new figure is perfect for it. Now, moon-wise, we get that little twist around. Now, with the hair, probably won't be able to go too much because, yeah, just a little twist side to side, and then you look down that far and then up just about straight on. So not a whole lot of range there, unfortunately, but the hair is mostly the reason. Shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself. Get the wrist, that'll twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch back and forth, just a little there, not a whole lot, but it'll twist all the way around. Get the hips, they'll come up to 90 and out to the side. Again, pretty much didn't do the splits. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, not too bad at all. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good range once again on the move. It's obviously not like the best movements ever, but you know, for a bigger figure like this, especially for a female body and stuff, moves quite a bit and have no real issues with that. Now she comes with a number of accessories. We do get an additional head with her hair pulled back into a ponytail, so that looks nice. Let's switch that out. So there's that, and I do really like that, you know, makes it more like she's ready for action and stuff to go into fights. And I love how she even has like a little smirk on her face, so her mouth's up a little, and eyebrows raised and stuff. So it looks kind of cool, like that design for her face lap. She comes with some additional hands, so she has 2 fist hands, which of course for a Hulk character always makes sense. She comes with some grip hands as well, so if we want to have her gripping anything, and then some like posed hands, I guess you could say. So we get a peace sign and a thumbs up there, so we get those 2 different hands we could give her as well. But I'll probably give her the grip hands just to give her extra accessories of the dumbbells, which are pretty cool. And I'm really surprised by these. I thought these would be, like really cheap plastic sort of design, but they actually have some weight to them. Obviously not the weight that they would have, but I don't know what they're made of, but they have some weight to them, like I said. So pretty nice for that. So I want to give her the grip pants so we can give her the dumbbells. So then I posed up She-Hulk a little there, lifting the weights, so that looks pretty cool. So love that she came with those dumbbells. So just a nice fun accessory that came along with her, so it looks really cool. Absolutely love that design. Now, as I mentioned, we've already had She-Hulk before, so here is just the normal She-Hulk. So where she was in more of the purple outfit and stuff, that looked really cool. So again, we got this great figure, so it was just an easy to do repaint to turn it into the Fantastic Four design, and both are really cool. So nice to have both editions of these versions of She-Hulk in the collection now. And like I said, now that we have She-Hulk, we can add her in, of course, with Dragon Man and the Fantastic Four. So there we have Dragon Man and She-Hulk now with the Fantastic Four team. So of course I grabbed the Fantastic Four that matches the She-Hulk design there. So now she can be a part of the team. Of course we'd have to get rid of Ben Grimm there and have She-Hulk instead, but it looks very cool with both of them. Of course, as you can see here, She-Hulk's taller even than the Thing, which is awesome, but then of course taller than our normal humans. So really nice to have her that tall compared to them. And of course with all these you can see how big Dragon Man is, just towering over them. So really cool to add this Dragon Man into the collection, as well as the She-Hulk to go with our Fantastic Four team. So let me know what you thought of these two awesome figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.